Dateline 26 February, '09. LA Times. Title: Mortgage Relief Via the Courts. Subtitle: The House is expected to back rules allowing bankruptcy judges to cut loan debt despite lenders' protests. Gonna vote on it today, apparently. Jim Puzzanghera, contributing from Washington to this yet another story of the assault on freedom and the grab of power by government. Looks like bankruptcy law is they are attempting to change bankruptcy law to allow the judges to reduce the principal. Apparently it's pretty arbitrary. They don't even talk about really the guidelines of such a program or such a law. They're going to vote on it and pass it today. It's okay. Don't worry about running it by anybody in public. You want to get under the guise of urgency, pretense of urgency. You got to pass these power grabs quick. Don't let people read them. Right now, judges cannot reduce mortgage principals as part of bankruptcy proceedings. But this law would force that, would allow it. Now, why is it bad? Let's get to the jump page. Let me hand it over to Friedrich Hayek. Let him explain. Go ahead, Friedrich.
So, okay, the article that shows these, the backers of the bill hope that the change in the law would be a strong incentive to banks and other mortgage holders to modify existing loans. They don't believe it would send borrowers rushing into court to file Chapter 13 bankruptcy. I don't know why it wouldn't if that's the only way to reduce the principal. Now, they quote this lady, Kathleen Day, spokeswoman for Center for Responsible Lending. She says, "We thought the bankruptcy was needed as a way to say to the industry, if you don't do it, someone is going to do it for you." We like that power-seizing language, huh? If you don't do it, someone's going to do it for you. Well, who is that someone? That is a government person, right? First, the legislator passes it, then it passes the power to another government person, the judge, to arbitrarily reduce a debt. Supposedly, she is the group for Center for Responsible Lending is to reduce the abusive lending practices. So I have to ask: is all the underwater mortgages were abuse? Maybe because a general housing bubble causes prices to go down. Does that mean every upside down mortgage is an abuse? Apparently, they think so. So this one is funny. It says a provision in the legislation would force people to seek a voluntary modification of their mortgage before going to bankruptcy court. So that means, hey lender, I can't pay my mortgage. So let's see. Would you voluntarily reduce the principal, or do I have to go to court to get it reduced? That's like hold the gun to the guy's head and say, "Will you voluntarily give me your wallet, or do I have to pull the trigger and explode your brains all over the wall?" I think you should volunteer your wallet my way to avoid such an unpleasant outcome of this transaction. That's the government's definition of voluntarism. Hey, I love these guys. So okay, that next paragraph says mortgage industry doesn't like it. They of course say uh, consumers would be hurt because lenders would have to raise the loan costs to compensate for increased risk that the principal might be forgiven for on a new loan. So uh, this is not obvious. If you legislate, um, if you legislate defaulting and breaching of a contract, don't you think that deters business and investment? Do you think that raises the risk and cost of doing business overall? And some guy running a bank business, lending business, credit business, has to factor that in. Now, in particular, the mortgage business. You don't think that's going to put a damper on the economy? Don't you think it's going to hurt the recovery, not help it? This is not their logic, though. Let's see. Now, what does Obama say? He says, "My administration will continue to support reforming our bankruptcy rules so that we allow judges to reduce home mortgages on primary residences to their fair market value." Fair. You see, this is the flexible definition of fairness that the statists use all the time. So it doesn't matter you signed the contract. If later their constituents don't like that a market has changed conditions, as markets do, free markets do, prices go up, prices go down. Prices are now down for houses because the speculative bubble and the other factors that forced them up are being corrected. So now they say now his implication is that all the existing mortgages that are underwater are inherently now unfair. The people that owe the money on them, now it's not fair somehow. So whatever happened to buy low, sell high? This is market incentive. You want to try, you buy a bank buys a property. Hopefully, it's in a good place, and they hope that the value, perceived value of the home goes up, and that once it is resold, they will make a profit. Now, you're going to say, no, it's not fair for you to make a profit now. So you're now profiting unfairly because the people is paying this mortgage on this house that now is no longer worth that much. So the fact that you made the decision and you bought this a property, and someone owes you money who's entered into a mortgage agreement, is paying you more money than you should be getting. That's their judgment. But that's just changing market conditions. If you buy a bicycle, you either run the bicycle down, and then if you resell it, not going to get as much, or maybe you repaint the bicycle and add the bell and the reflector, and now you sell it for a little more than what you bought it for. Clean it up real nice. Maybe you make a profit on your bicycle. That's capitalism. Why not? Can we do this for houses anymore? All of a sudden, it's not fair that the banks are continuing to be demanding the mortgages that the person signed. Now, if they got this mortgage through fraud, if they said that that'll never happen, if they tell some lies, in giving the person when they sign the agreement, say that the adjustable rate will never really adjust, it's just a real low possibility. Well, that's misrepresentation. If they can prove that, then of course maybe that's actionable. But anyway, let me go to the end of the article.